A point transversed half the distance with velocity v0, and the remaining part of the distance was covered with velocity v1 for half of the time and velocity v2 for the rest of the time. So we are asked to find the mean velocity of the point averaged over the whole time of motion, that is the average velocity. So we are asked to find the average velocity. So in this situation, so let's say this is the point is transverses from A to B. This is the total distance covered, and it is said that half of the distance, let's say s by 2, s by 2, half of the distance was transferred with speed v0. Whatever the remaining part? Remaining part of distance was covered with v1 for half of the time. So half of the time over here, let's say this was covered with v1 and this was covered with v2 velocity. So t by 4, t by 4. This is t by 2. So we know there are two cases, case 1 and case 2. These are separate cases in finding average velocity. So in the first case, if half of the distance is covered with a particular velocity v1 and the rest half is covered with particular velocity v2, that is half of the distance. Half the distance is half the distance. Then in that case, the average velocity, there's a formula which is given by 2v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. And if half of the time is covered by velocity v1 and the rest half is covered by velocity v2, then we have equation of average velocity as v1 plus v2 divided by. So in this question we have to use both of these equations. So first let's find the average velocity of this part, that is vcb. Let's find the average velocity of this part. So for that, let's say the average velocity of part BCB, since it is half time, that is why we have to use this equation. That is V1 plus V2 divided by 2. This is the average velocity of this part. Okay, V1 plus V2 divided by 2. And now since we have V0 and this value, find the average velocity asked in the question, that is VAB. This is equal to, since it is of half the distance, we have to use this formula, that is 2 into v0 into v1 plus v2 whole divided by 2. This is again divided by v1 plus v2, that is in this case this value plus this value. It is 2v0 plus v1 plus v2. This is going to give us 2v0 v1 plus v2 divided by 2v0 v1 plus v2. This is the average velocity, or mean velocity asked in the question for the whole motion.